News that Faslane's famous peace protesters could be about to give up the iconic camp are false, TFN has learned. Protesters sent an open letter to supporters last week, saying unless the number of permanent residents doubled to 8 from its current 4, its future couldn't be guaranteed. However, since then there has been a swell of support and the camp's numbers have increased, meaning its future is guaranteed for the short term at least. Leona O'Neill, who has lived in the camp for 2.5 years, says the protests will continue.
What it looks like now from the reaction that we've got from the letter that we put out, it does look like there will be people taking over. This space has radicalised me. Like, I moved here, I studied international law at university and politics, and it was always very politicised, but living here is what radicalised me into taking direct action and to putting myself in the way of the things that I see are wrong and risking your freedom to some degree, and these are things that I'll continue to do, and probably in bigger forms in the future. It's kind of flicked a switch in your head that you don't have to just go along and put your head down and accept those things that you know are wrong. And so the peace camp's done that for me, and it'll always be with me.
The protesters have the full backing of Scottish CND, whose chair, Arthur West, says he hopes the camp and its fight to scrap Trident will continue.
I think the peace camp, without sounding too sentimental about it, I think it's part of the kind of overall, the family of the peace movement, because in terms of the peace movement, I think people make contributions in different ways. Some people are involved in lobbying and pressurising politicians, some people get involved in public work around street stalls, some people get involved in around the direct action and risk arrest and standing up for their views. In the peace camp, there are people there who live in very austere conditions, who have kept it going, since the early 1980s, who, as well as being involved in direct action, maintain a presence at the base, which, to anybody passing by, highlights, the injustice and the ridiculous cost and the tragedy of having nuclear weapons in Scotland. So the peace camp, is very much integral to the peace movement. Scottish CND would always, want to support it.
With a growing list of leading academics, as well as prominent church figures backing the call to scrap Trident, and with CND now backing the Yes campaign ahead of next year's referendum, West believe the cause is now more achievable.
In this time of austerity, it's absolutely ridiculous. We're cutting services to disabled, elderly and children, and we're going to spend this amount of money on a nuclear weapons system, which just seems, I think, ridiculous to a lot of people.
So for the peace protesters, they won't be moving until Trident has been removed from Scotland's shores.